Welcome to the Creating Your MLA Style Annotated Bibliography tutorial. In this section, I will do the necessary formatting to set up my document before I begin entering the material for my paper. On my screen, I have Microsoft Word 2010 open. If you are using Microsoft Office 2007, it may look a little bit different, but this is the software that we have available on campus, so I'm using that. The first step to creating my document in MLA style is to make sure I have the correct margins for my page. And to do that, I'm going to go to the Page Layout menu. I click on Page Layout, and then you'll see Margins is the option. It's the third option over from the left-hand side of the page. I click on Margins, and then I click Normal, which tells me that my margins will be 1 inch all the way around the paper, and that's the correct MLA style margins. The next thing I have to fix is the line spacing for my document, and I'm going to do that in the Paragraph menu. And if you click this little arrow, it will launch the paragraph dialog box, which is what shows on the screen next. And about halfway down the dialog box, you'll see the entry for spacing, and you'll see that it says before 0 point and after 10 point. The after needs to also say 0 point, so I'm going to use the down arrow to change that until both before and after say 0 point. The next option says line spacing, and it currently says multiple, and I'm going to use the pull down menu to change that to double and then say OK. I also need to add a header to my paper. So I'm going to go to the Insert menu and click Insert. And about halfway over in the menu options, you'll see I can insert a header, I can insert a footer, and I can insert a page number. I'm going to insert a page number at the top of the page. And when I click on top of the page, several options come up, and I want plain number 3, because you'll notice plain number 3 puts the number at the right hand margin of the page, and that's what I need for my header. So I click. You'll see the 1 is shaded, and there's a little icon next to it showing a paragraph marker, and I'm going to then type my last name and 1 space. So my header consists of my last name, a space, and then the inserted page number. I can then double click back in the body of my document because I no longer need to work in the header. That's all I need to do up there. I'm back in the body of my document now, and the first thing I type is my name, and I hit the Enter key, and you'll notice the cursor drops down 2 lines, and that's because we've set it to double space, and that's exactly what it's supposed to do. The next piece of information you include is your instructor's name. So I'm going to promote myself to Professor Eichholz. The class, in this case Gen 130, and hit Enter. And you'll notice I'm hitting Enter at the end of every line. And then finally the date the project is due. And since I'm doing this for our mini project number 1, I'm going to use the MLA style date of the day, 28, space, the month, June, space, and then the year, 2011. And then I hit Enter one more time. The next piece of information I'm going to enter to finish out this setting up my document is the title of my piece. And in this case, I'm simply going to call my piece Mini Project Number 1. And I want to center that on the page because that's where the title goes. And if you look at they call this area at the top of the page the ribbon, the document ribbon, which has all the command options. We're currently in the Home section of the ribbon, and you'll see in the paragraph options there are these page alignment icons, and I want to center, so I'm going to use the centering icon. That centers my title. I hit the Enter key 1 time, and I notice that my cursor is still centered, so I go back to that paragraph menu and select the Align Text Left icon to move my cursor back over to the left-hand margin. My document is now set up and ready to add content, so this ends part 1 of this 3-part tutorial.